Hey guys, the NASCAR Xfinity Series raced at Indianapolis today at the Brickyard, and Kyle Busch started on the pole, a Cup driver in the race, one of the two, Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon, and Kyle Busch also gets the win. Kyle Busch kind of struggled all day today, but he ends up on top, besting Justin Allgaier, which won here last year. Now, before we start going through the results, I want to talk about the different aero package the Xfinity Series had at Indianapolis this week. It's pretty similar to the one they had last year. They have the bunny ear spoiler. It's a high drag package, big splitter, and the restarts were good, but when the green flag went on for a long time, it was strange. Like, two cars were really far away. Then there was a huge 6-second gap, and then there was a pack of like 7 cars, and then there was another 6-second gap, and there was like 4 more cars, and then so on and so forth. And it was kind of interesting. But when the restarts happened and they were on short runs, it got really good because they had the block and they were bump drafting everywhere, and it really like put the pack, like made packs. But it kind of spread out when they kept going into single file. But with the blocking, like really aggressive blocking and really hard bump drafting, it got really good with all the restarts, since there was a lot of cautions and lots of crashes in this race. So we have Kyle Busch winning his 4th Indianapolis Xfinity win, and so that's good for Kyle Busch. Justin Allgaier gets 2nd, last year's winner here at the Brickyard, still struggling to find his first win of 2019, had 5 last year. He hasn't won since last year at Indy, and he's really looking for that next win come in 2019, his first one in 2019. Noah Gragson gets 3rd. Noah Gragson, he's really on a roll. I mean, he's for a rookie, he's doing pretty good. This 9 car won championships back to back last year and the year before with Byron and Reddick. So high expectations coming in for Noah Gragson, but a 3rd place finish, a top 5 is really good for him, especially he had some damage there with Christopher Bell in the race as well. Jeb Burton gets 4th. Jeb Burton, that's really impressive. Just his 5th start of the year for Junior Motorsports. His teammate Justin Allgaier there, who won the 2nd stage, is also in the top 5, and Jeb Burton, really impressive. Qualified 12th, and really happy for Jeb Burton. Justin Haley kind of has a throwback scheme this weekend, even though it's not Darlington. It's to his grandpa's dragster, and since they're from Indiana, they decided to do it at this race with that grandpa throwback. Brandon Jones won the 1st stage. He had to block pretty hard to get it, but he held him off and got 6th. A really strong day for Brandon Jones, even though Austin Cindric got loose and came into him, and Brandon Jones spun, but managed to get a really good top 10 finish. And 1, 2, 3 starting positions belong to Joe Gibbs Racing with Busch, Bell, and Jones. Cole Custer got 7th. Cole Custer really didn't have any great day, but I mean, it was a decent enough day. He gets a top 10. Same with Chase Briscoe, Cole Custer's teammate. Just a quiet enough day, a quiet top 10 day, solid enough. They're both locked into the playoffs. One more race left in the regular season for the Xfinity Series. Austin Hill making his Xfinity Series debut with a Hattori and MBM alliance and collaboration. He was attempted to make the Xfinity race at Daytona in July, but the car broke. He couldn't make the race, failed to qualify. But for this race, there wasn't enough cars for anybody to fail to qualify, so Austin Hill gets 9th. Really strong day. He was running 14th around there all day, and managed with all the crashes to get up to 9th. Kept the car clean for his debut in the Xfinity Series. He's obviously a full-time Truck Series driver. Really happy for Austin Hill, top 10. Ryan Sieg gets 10th, a solid top 10 finish. He's pretty safe in the playoffs, on the bubble though, but like 124 points above Gray Goulding. And I think he blew a tire, but he definitely spun in the race, and but he bounced back to a top 10 and kept the car clean otherwise than that spin. So good job by Ryan Sieg. Started where he finished Jeremy Clements gets 11th, another quiet, really solid day for Jeremy Clements. He's been doing like really good lately, even more than they have usually. Just really solid, not getting in much trouble, especially at Bristol. They got a top 5. Michael Annett gets 12th. Michael Annett's a pretty solid day, top 12, top 15, but in practice yesterday, him and Mike Harmon got mad at each other. They had a feud. They were getting mad at each other on Twitter, like most NASCAR drivers do these days, and it got pretty funny there. But they both weren't kidding around. They were both really mad, especially Mike Harmon, with what Michael Annett called him an idiot in camera on TV, and then Harmon bashed him on Twitter, and Annett said he's sorry, but I know Annett still thinks Harmon's an idiot for coming down on Annett after Annett was under him. Harmon was coming to pit road. It's really the spotter's fault, not Harmon's. Gray Golding gets 13th. Gray Golding, solid enough day. Garrett Smithley gets 14th. Top 15. It's really good. He was in the top 10 with like 2 to go, so it's a really good day for Garrett Smithley. Ronnie Bassett Jr., another top 15 for that team. DGM, that's really good. Mario Gosselin's team, that's really good. He was 11th for a while. Really solid day for Ronnie Bassett Jr. in the 90 car. Landon Castle gets 16th. Landon Castle with this JD Motorsports number 4 team. He was with the 01 JD Motorsports team at Darlington. Did really good. Didn't finish how he wanted, but did really great. And he had another pretty solid top 20 finish today at Indianapolis. Josh Williams, he restarted first at one point because he stayed out, and he gets a top 20 finish. Not bad. Ronnie Bassett Jr.'s teammate, 17th. Joey Gase gets 18th, pretty solid top 20 finish, considering how bad Joey Gase's year has been, unfortunately. Stephen Parsons gets 19th. What is this, only his 3rd or 4th start in the Xfinity Series? And he's adapting pretty well, gets another top 20 with BJ McLeod Motorsports, so that's pretty solid finish, started 22nd. Ray Black Jr. gets 20th, not a bad day, Gray Golding's teammate. Josh Bilicki, 21st. He took like 0 tires on one of the pit stops and got up into the top 10, but dropped to 21st, obviously. BJ McLeod, 22nd, not bad. Landon Castle's teammate. Stephen Light, another teammate of them, same with Garrett Smithley. Stephen Light gets 23rd. Tommy Joe Martins gets 24th. Solid, I guess, for small MBM team. Matt Mills, 25th. Vinnie Miller, 26th for BJ McLeod. Austin Cindric gets 27th. Austin Cindric qualified 6th, and he had a good day going. He had some damage there because he got into Brandon Jones, and he kind of fell onto like a weird strategy, but he got back up to like 6th, and he was doing really good. And then at the end, something happened. We really didn't know what happened, and he just dropped like a rock from like 6th or 5th place and dropped like a rock to 27th. So he had a good day, but his finish does not show that he had a good day, unfortunately, in that 27th position. At least he got a top 30, I guess. Brandon Brown gets 28th. Brandon Brown on these crazy restarts, they were blocking and bump drafting and side drafting everywhere, and Brandon Brown just he bumped into like Christopher Bell, gave him a good shot, bump draft, but then Brandon Brown just kind of I don't know, something happened. He spun and backed it into the wall, and yeah, he had tons of damage, but he actually ended up finishing the race, even though he was pretty destroyed. Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick in 29th and 30th. They were the leaders on one of the final restarts. Their crash caused a red flag, and Bell got loose on the bottom. Reddick was above him. Like I said, they started on the front row, and Bell just like got Reddick into the wall, and it slammed both of them super hard. Both of their cars were completely destroyed. They got a DNF. Both got DNFs. They both started really well, 3rd and 4th, and it was a humongous crash with it was pretty carnage and chaos everywhere with that debris everywhere, like you wouldn't believe. It was crazy. John Hunter Nemechek gets 31st. He had a problem, slid through the grass, and smacked the wall really hard as well. Not as bad as Bell and Reddick. Bell came off the ground a little, and Reddick's whole front end was ripped off, and Bell's was destroyed too. But Nemechek, his car was just the right side was just completely flat and just completely destroyed. He got a DNF, and he started 5th as well, so that's a really good starting position as well. Mike Harmon gets 32nd. I already said the feud with Michael Annett. I'm not going to talk about that anymore, even though it was pretty big news. Meet me down in Applebee's, he said. Call me an idiot to my face, he tweeted to Michael Annett. Oh, gosh. Chad Fincham gets 33rd. Austin Dillon gets 34th. He had a fuel pressure problem really early in the race. Colleague Racing teammates with Justin Haley, which finished 5th. And Dillon had a bad day, finishes 34th DNF, and he barely even got to do any of the race. Haley was happy he had a Cup teammate in the race, but not for long, because Austin Dillon just died, which means they had to call a caution because he made it on the access road going like 2 miles an hour, and then finally they stopped and they had to cause the caution. It was a hazard. Kyle Weatherman gets 35th. He like blew up in qualifying or something. Morgan Shepherd gets 36th. Same car, same paint scheme at least. He had a Darlington throwback. David Starr gets 37th. He had problems during the race, DNF. And J.J. Yaley gets last in 38th place. So that is the review and results breakdown of the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Indianapolis, the Brickyard. Tomorrow, the Cup Series is at Indianapolis for the Brickyard 400. This 2019 Aero package with the Cup cars should help the race out, especially since it's not been that great lately. But I think it'll be a good race with this Aero package. I think there'll be lots of draft. It'll be like a mini super speedway race. These Xfinity cars had restrictor plates and super speedway engines, and so we'll see how the Cup Series racing product, on-track product goes. And thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, guys.